From the book of Genesis chapter 17.
When Abram was 99 years old, Yahweh appeared to him and said,
I am El Shaddai, live in my presence, be perfect, and I shall grant you a covenant between myself and you, and make you numerous.
And Abram bowed to the ground. God spoke to him as follows,
For my part, this is my covenant with you. You will become the father of many nations, and you are no longer to be called Abram. Your name is to be Abraham. For I am making you father of many nations. I shall make you exceedingly fertile. I shall make you into nations, and your issue will be kings. And I shall maintain my covenant between myself and you, and your descendants after you, generation after generation, as a covenant in perpetuity, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. And to you and to your descendants after you, I shall give the country where you are now immigrants, the entire land of Canaan, to own in perpetuity, and I shall be their God.
God further said to Abraham,
You, for your part, must keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you, generation after generation. This is my covenant which you must keep between myself and you, and your descendants after you. Every one of your males must be circumcised. You must circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and that will be the sign of a covenant between myself and you. As soon as he is 8 days old, every one of your males, generation after generation, must be circumcised, including slaves born within the household or bought from a foreigner not of your descent. Whether born within the household or bought, they must be circumcised. My covenant must be marked in your flesh as a covenant in perpetuity. The uncircumcised male whose foreskin has not been circumcised, that person must be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant.
Furthermore, God said to Abraham,
As regards your wife Sarai, you must not call her Sarai, but Sarah. I shall bless her, and moreover give you a son by her. I shall bless her, and she will become nations. Kings of peoples will issue from her.
Abraham bowed to the ground and he laughed, thinking to himself, Is a child to be born to a man 100 years old? And will Sarah have a child at the age of 90? Abraham said to God, May Ishmael live in your presence. That will be enough. But God replied,
Yes, your wife Sarah will bear you a son whom you must name Isaac, and I shall maintain my covenant with him, a covenant in perpetuity, to be his God and the God of his descendants after him. For Ishmael too, I grant you your request. I hereby bless him and will make him fruitful and exceedingly numerous. He will be the father of 12 princes, and I shall make him into a great nation. But my covenant I shall maintain with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear you at this time next year.
When he had finished speaking to Abraham, God went up from him. Then Abraham took his son Ishmael, all the slaves born in his household or whom he had bought, in short, all the males among the people of Abraham's household, and circumcised their foreskin. That same day, as God had said to him. Abraham was 99 years old when his foreskin was circumcised. Ishmael his son was 13 years old when his foreskin was circumcised. Abraham and his son Ishmael were circumcised on the very same day. And all the men of his household, those born in the household and those bought from foreigners, were circumcised with him.
God of power and might, you are a faithful God, and you keep your promises to 1,000 generations. We pray you to come to our aid and give us that same blessing which you bestowed on Abraham, by which you made him the father of many nations, so that on our earthly sojourn all that we do will be in keeping with your covenants. for you are God who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.